Before we get started, I just want to say hi and welcome to Taking Care of You. I am so excited to see all of you. You are taking the steps towards caring for yourselves. And as caregivers and teachers, we're always thinking about and caring about others, usually very small humans. And it's really important for us to remember to take care of ourselves. We can't fully care for someone else until we've cared for ourselves. You can't pour from an empty cup, right? So your self-care matters and you matter. I know for a lot of you, this is going to be your first time practicing yoga, and I'm so pumped for you. Don't be nervous. During each of these classes, I'm going to go over kind of the schedule or the agenda of class at the beginning so you know what to expect. I'm also going to walk us through all of the poses and the flows and giving you some tips and tricks along the way. So that you can make everything work for your body. On Instagram, on social media, we're constantly overrun with photos of, that skinny white blonde woman doing headstands or crazy arm balances. And we're made to think that that is what yoga is. And that may be what yoga looks like for some people. It's not what yoga looks like for everybody, and it's certainly not for me. So I want you to take this hour-long practice and make it your own. The right yoga is the yoga that is right for you. My philosophy around yoga and teaching yoga and practicing yoga is freedom. You can see I have it on the wall above me. Give yourself the freedom to do the poses in your own way. Use props, use a chair, make adjustments. If at any point during class tonight you need to take a breath or you need to take a break, please do. You know your body better than I know your body, obviously. So listen to your body and give it what it needs. I'm here to be your guide and not your drill sergeant. Few reminders before we get started. Make sure, if you can, to please make sure you're muted, because otherwise my voice echoes and you don't want to hear my voice multiple times. So make sure you're muted. You can keep your camera on or you can keep your camera off, whatever you are comfortable with. I'm not going to force you either way. The recording is just recording my screen. So when I send out the recording, nobody else is going to see you. But just know whatever you are comfortable with as far as camera on or camera off. And the last thing I want to say as a reminder is to be kind. Be kind to yourself, especially if this is your first time practicing, because the first time we do anything, we never do it 100%. I'm in the middle of a yoga teacher training program, and I am very far from doing yoga perfectly, right? So just be kind to yourself, listen to your body, and just like a little plug, be kind to me because this is my first time teaching. So hopefully we'll all make it through at the end. I'm sure we will. So here we are, we're seated on the floor or in a chair or on your couch, whatever feels best for you. The way that a yoga class typically works is we start off with a kind of centering or grounding moment to bring us into the practice. We're all coming into the practice from whatever, giving dinner to people, running in from work, whatever. Our days are crazy. So we're going to take in a moment, we're going to take some time to center and ground ourselves. Then we're going to warm up our bodies with a few simple stretches. I'm going to teach you a half Sun Salutation, and we're going to go over what that is. We're going to do a couple different flows, moving our body around. We're going to go through a cool down of letting our body come to rest. Then we're going to go into what's called Shavasana, which is the rest period at the end of a yoga class, where we're going to just lie still and you're going to listen to me talk to you. And it's like If you fall asleep, I won't tell anybody. And then at the end, we're going to come back together and kind of repeat the same thing we did during the beginning, the centering, to end our class. So that's what you can expect from the evening. Well, it's going to run about an hour. If you need to pop off at the end, I totally understand. We got a late start, but you're still going to get the recording hopefully tomorrow. All right. So to begin, I want you just to put one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly. Close your eyes and just notice how you feel. Notice what your heart is feeling, what your breath is feeling. Notice if your body feels tight. Just notice. And with your eyes closed, if you're comfortable, we're just going to listen a few times to the singing bowl. Try to listen for as long as you can till the sound just ends. Now, keeping your eyes closed, I want you to start to focus on your breath. Concentrate on what it feels like when you're inhaling. Feel the cool air come in through your nose, filling up your chest and your lungs and even down into your belly. And every time that you inhale, I want you to feel what that process feels like. In through your nose, filling up your chest and your lungs and way down into your belly. Feel your body expand with that breath. Feel the coolness and the steadiness of your inhale. Now focus on your exhale. How does that feel different? Feel how the air goes from your belly back up through your lungs, chest, out through your mouth or nose. Feel the warmth of the air that has been nourishing your body coming back out. Is it strong and steady? Is it a little shaky? Whatever it is perfect to your breath. Now I want you to think about both the inhale and the exhale. Inhaling through your nose, filling up your chest, lungs, and belly. Exhale, pushing all of that air up from your belly, up and out. One more deep breath in through your nose, filling up chest, lungs, and belly. And exhaling all of that air out. You can open your eyes. We're going to move into the warm-up spot. So we're just going to kind of get rid of some of that tension we may be holding. For some of you, if you're teachers, maybe you're, in a classroom, lifting babies, lifting toddlers, if you're in the childcare profession, or maybe if you're teaching remotely, you're sitting in front of a screen all day, or if you are a parent You know, you're picking up toys off the ground, all kinds of stuff. And we're holding all of that tension in our shoulders and in our necks and the top of our backs. So we're going to do this warm up right now to release some of that tension. So the first thing we're going to do is I want you to take your right hand and you're going to put it onto the left hand side of your head and gently pull your head down towards your shoulder. You don't need to pull, just gentle. And you can feel the stretch in up through the side of your neck. Release and bring your head back to center. And then we're just going to do the opposite side. Left hand onto the right side of your head, gently pull down. Feeling that nice deep stretch in your neck. And back to center. This next stretch is my favorite. I do it multiple times during the day. You're gonna interlace your fingers, place them on the back of your head, and gently bring your chin down towards your chest. As you're doing this, make sure you're doing your breathing. You don't want to stop breathing while you're doing this. Also, try to make sure you're bringing your shoulders down away from your ears. If they're scrunched up, you're not going to get as deep of a stretch. Bring them down away from your ears and let your head fall forward. This stretch you can feel down the back of your neck, up into the upper part of your back, and sometimes you can even feel it down into the mid part of your back. Whew, I love this one. All right, gently release and bring your head up. Great. We're just going to do some neck rolls next. So looking down and then bringing your head all the way around to the back, to the side, and down again. Going at your own pace. Whatever feels good for your body to stretch out your neck a little bit. Get rid of some of that tension from the day. Forget about the spilled milk. Forget about the accident reports you needed to write. In the other direction now. Switch your neck to rolling in the other direction. Just at your own pace, giving your neck that final stretch out. Next, we're going to move into some shoulder rolls. So bringing your shoulders up and back and down and then forward again. You can do these small, you can do these really big, you can really get your arms into moving it. Whatever way feels best for you to kind of get all those kinks out, to really release some of that stress and tension in your shoulders and your back. Just letting go of everything that happened during the day and concentrating on you right now. And we're going to switch shoulders, roll, so go to the other direction. Up and forward and then back. Maybe even closing your eyes while you're doing it so you can feel all of the muscles stretching and moving. A lot of times when we're moving throughout the day, we don't take a moment just to see what it feels like to move our body. We're kind of on autopilot. So what does it feel like when you're moving all of those muscles in your shoulders and your neck and your upper back? Whew, that felt good. Okay. Next, we're going to move on to shoulder releases. So on an inhale, we're gonna scrunch our shoulders up as high as you can. Try to get them directly next to your ears. Scrunch them up really high, and then on your next exhale, you're gonna exhale out and drop your shoulders. Inhale, scrunch your shoulders up, 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 up. And exhale, let it go. If you feel comfortable and you want to audibly exhale, by all means, do that. A lot of times I find that to release tension, letting out an actual audible sound it can be helpful. So let's try it again. Shoulders up, inhale, scrunch them up, and well, that was good one. Great. The last piece we're going to do during our warm-up is a twist, just a seated twist. So you are going to bring your left hand to your right knee or your right leg, where as far as you can get your arm across you. And then your other hand is going to go towards your back, the back of the chair. If you're sitting in a chair, it can just go down to the floor, and just give yourself a gentle little twist. As you inhale, try to straighten your back a little bit. And then maybe as you exhale, you can twist a little bit further, if that feels good for you. If it doesn't, stay right where you are. Another inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. And exhale. Back to center. Just going to do it on the other side. So opposite hand to the knee, arm behind you. That feels good for you. Give yourself a little twist. Inhaling, straightening up. Exhale, maybe twisting a little deeper. This act of twisting is almost like you're wringing out a dish towel or a towel. You know, you're getting all that gross water out of the towel. It's the same for our body. We're just wringing out all of that tension from the day. Just letting it all go. Inhale one more time. And exhale, come back to center. Wonderful. We're going to move on from being seated. So we're going to stand up if that feels comfortable for you. This next part we're going to do is called a Sun Salutation, or Surya Namaskar. Surya meaning sun, Namaskar meaning salutation or greeting. Sun salutations are a very traditional part of the yoga practice, and there are different variations of sun salutations. But what we're going to do right at first is we're just going to do a simple half sun salutation. So it doesn't involve getting up and then down on the floor and doing downward facing dog, and that's a lot. So we're just going to do a half sun salutation, and we're going to go through it slowly at first. And then you guys we'll work through it together, everybody being able to work at their own pace. So how you start sun salutation is you're going to have your feet firmly planted on the ground. They can be, hip width distance apart, if that's comfortable for you. If not, they can be slightly wider. I know I like to take mine just a little bit wider. Feet, again, firmly planted on the ground. We really want to feel grounded in this pose. This standing pose right here is called Tadasana, or mountain pose. So think of yourself as being grounded and strong like a mountain. This is how you start your sun salutation, here in this strong mountain pose. Then we're going to inhale, and on our inhale, we're going to reach our arms all the way up to the ceiling. You can keep your gaze forward, or you can look up to your hands, whatever is more comfortable. And then on your exhale, you're going to hinge your hips and fold your body forward into a forward fold. This would be a time if you have a stack of books or if you have blocks or something like that that you want to put down if you can't touch the ground. I cannot touch the ground, so I tend to use blocks just to put my hands on so I don't feel like I'm dangling. This is also a time when, for myself, the way that my body is built, my belly gets in the way a lot when I do a forward fold. So I like to kind of move my belly around and make some space for myself to bend forward. You can have a bend in your knee. A slight bend in your knee is great. Doesn't need to be all the way straight. We're just going to chill out here in our forward fold. You can feel the stretch up the back of your leg and even out across your back. On your next inhale, we're going to bring our hands either to our knees or to our shins or even up onto our thighs. And you're just going to have a flat back. So you're not going to stand all the way up, but not all the way down. You're going to be in a halfway lift. And then exhale back down to forward fold. On your next inhale, you're going to press your feet into the ground, root yourself down and rise back up, arms back up to the sky. Exhale, bring your hands down into where we say either prayer position or heart center. And look at that. You've done your first sun salutation. Guys rock. So we're going to do it again, moving a little bit faster this time. So inhale, arms up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Adjusting if you need to adjust on your way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, back down to your forward fold. Inhale, pushing down through the feet, grounding into the floor, all the way back up to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to do this 2 more times. Inhale, arms up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root down through the floor, arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Last time. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, ground through the ground. Arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Great job. And you can see with the movements that it is kind of a salute to the sun, right? We're coming up, we're saying hi to the sun, and we're bowing down, coming back up again. Our next set of poses we're going to do is actually going to be with our legs out wide. They don't need to be too wide that you lose your balance, but these are part of a wide-legged stance. So wherever you're comfortable balance-wise. Same thing as we inhale, we're going to bring our arms up to the sky, very similar to our sun salutation. As we exhale, again, back down to a forward fold, but with our legs wide. Inhale, we're going to come back up, arms back up to the sky. On your next exhale, you're going to bring your hands down so you kind of look like a cactus with your arms. And you're gonna bend your knees outward over your toes. So you're kind of in a wide-legged squat with your arms up like this. This is goddess pose. So feel the strength grounding into the ground through your feet, the strength in your legs. You can kind of feel the strength in your arms as you do this too. You can kind of feel a little bit of that fire burning. And then on your next inhale, arms straighten your legs, arms back up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Shake off your legs a little bit in this forward fold. Inhale, arms back up to the sky. Exhale, bring the arms down, bend the knees into goddess. Inhale, arms up, straighten the legs. Exhale, forward fold. Again, shaking out your legs if you need to. Inhale, arms up to the sky. And exhale, goddess pose. This goddess pose is a great strengthening pose, obviously for our legs, but for our arms and also our core as well. We're strong goddesses. Inhale, arms up to the sky, legs straighten. Exhale, one more time, forward fold. Inhale, arms up. Here comes our last goddess. Exhale down into goddess pose. Inhale, knees straight, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Now shake it out. Shake out your legs, shake out your arms, shake out your butt. Shake it out. All right, we've done all of our standing poses. So now we're gonna get back down on our mats, but we're gonna be on our hands and knees. Hands and knees can be tough on the wrists because we're not infants. We don't tend to spend a ton of time on our hands and knees, right? So if putting that much pressure on your wrists by being flat in the ground is hard, you can always put them on top of a pair of blocks or a stack of books. That does help to relieve some of the pressure from your wrists. Also, while we're going through these poses that are down here on our hands and knees, taking breaks if you need to, totally okay. So we're gonna be on our hands and knees, and we're gonna go through some classic yoga poses that are called cat and cow. The first pose we're gonna do is cow. So we're here, hands and knees. Our wrists are underneath our shoulders and our knees are underneath our hips. For cow, on your inhale, you're going to drop your belly. You're going to lift your tail up towards the sky. You're going to lift your head up in the front, dropping your belly in the middle as you take an inhale. This is cow. On your exhale, you're going to push away the floor with your hands and with your knees and puff up your back like a Halloween cat, hence cat pose. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your tail and your face, cow. Exhale, Tuck your tail, puff up your back, push away the floor with your hands and your knees, cat. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your tail and your gaze, cow. Exhale, push away the floor, puff up your back, tuck your tail into cat. Now on your own breath, in your own rhythm, go through cat and cow a few times. It's okay if when you're in one pose or the other, you pause to take a few breaths. And wherever you are, we're going to do one more inhale, belly down into cow. And one more exhale, puffing up into cat. Great. Cat and cow are those poses that you can really do anywhere. If you need a break, you really want to stretch out your back. You know, if you're at home, you do them at home. If you're home with your kids love doing cat and cow. If you're at school, if you're in a childcare setting, you're usually probably on the ground anyway, especially if you work with infants and toddlers. So this is a great pose to do then. You can also do this fully seated in a chair or on the couch by pulling your shoulders back for cow and then pushing them forward for cat. It gives you that same kind of back motion as we were experiencing on the floor, but it's sitting up. So whether you're in, like I said, in a chair, on the sofa, if you're in a computer chair, these are really easy things to do at your desk as well to kind of relieve some of that tension throughout the day. Take a moment for yourself, right, throughout the day. So shake out your wrists. We're going to go back onto our hands and knees. And we're going to work on a pose called bird dog, which is great for cross-lateral communication in your brain, but also good for your core strength. I said it was going to be a beginner class. I didn't say we weren't going to work on our core. Sorry. So back on our hands and knees. We're going to piece this pose together, okay? First, we're going to work on our arms. So on your next inhale, you're going to extend your right hand in front of you. And as you exhale, bring it back down to the floor. Now your left hand. Inhale, left hand forward. Exhale, back to the floor. Inhale, right arm forward. Exhale, back to the floor. Inhale, left arm forward. Exhale, back down to the floor. 2 more times. Inhale, right arm forward. Exhale, back to the floor. Inhale, left arm forward. Exhale, down to the floor. Last time. Inhale, right arm forward. Exhale, down to the floor. Inhale, left arm forward. Exhale, down to the floor. Great. Now we're going to work on our legs. So as you inhale, you're going to extend your left leg behind you. It does not need to come off the floor. It can just extend a little bit or a lot of it, but try to move it away from being next to your right leg. And then as you exhale, bring it back down to the floor. Same with your right leg. Inhale, push the leg out behind you. Exhale, back to the floor. left leg again. Inhale, leg out behind you. Exhale, back to the floor. Inhale, right leg behind you. Exhale, back to the floor. 2 more times. Inhale, left leg behind you. Back to the floor. Inhale, right leg behind you. Exhale, back to the floor. Last time. Inhale, left leg behind you. Back to the floor. Inhale, right leg behind you. Exhale, back to the floor. Now you can sit up, shake out your wrists a little bit. That was a lot. Really building up that fire. I'm like locked in the office here, so I'm like sweating. Shaking out our wrists. And now we come to the culmination. You ready for this? We're going to do arms and legs at the same time. So on our inhale, we're going to extend our right arm and our left leg. Exhale, back to the floor. Inhale, left arm, right leg. Exhale, back down to the floor. We can do this. We got this. All right, back on our hands and knees. Okay, here we go. Inhale, right arm, left leg. Exhale, back to the floor. Inhale, left arm, right leg. Exhale, back to the floor. Inhale, right arm, left leg. Exhale, back to the floor. Inhale, left arm, right leg. Exhale, back to the floor. Last time. Inhale, right arm, left leg. Exhale, back to the floor. And inhale, left arm, right leg. Exhale, back to the floor. Woo! Shake out those wrists, get yourself a drink of water. All right, folks, we've come to our cool down. Coming towards the end of our practice. The cool down is the time where we're going to give our body a few extra stretches to help it cool down from all of the fire that we just burned in there. It's also a time for us to do some counter poses. So we did a lot of forward folding in our practice today. So we're going to do some side bending in our cool down while we're on the floor to help mitigate some of that back and forth bending we were doing. So you are going to come to the floor lying on your back. If lying flat on your back is not comfortable for your body, you can put something under your knees, like a pillow or a blanket. You can put something under the small of your back. You can put something under your head. Just find whatever works for you for your body to be comfortable lying flat on your back. So we're here on the floor lying on our backs. This first pose we're going to do is called banana, for what I'm sure you will figure out will be obvious reasons. So on your inhale, you're going to extend your arms up over your head. And on your exhale, you're going to move your legs and arms towards the left side on your mat. So you're making like a crescent shape or a banana shape on the floor. Inhale, bring your arms and legs back to center. Exhale on the other side. So legs and arms are over towards the right side of your mat. Inhale back to center. A few more times on each side. Exhale, arms and legs over to the left. Inhale back to center. Exhale, arms and legs over to the right. Inhale back to center. Last time. Exhale, arms and legs over to the left. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, arms and legs over to the right. Exhale, back to center. This last pose we're going to do on the ground here before we move into our Shavasana is a supine twist. So if you can bring your feet to the floor, bend your knees. On an inhale, you're going to lift your feet off the ground. It doesn't need to be very far. As far as you can lift them up off the ground. And on your exhale, you're going to drop your knees to your left-hand side. It might feel better for you to have something underneath your knees or in between your knees during this pose. But you want to make sure that your shoulders are staying flat on the ground as you're experiencing this twist. On your next inhale, bring your knees back to center. Exhale, twist over to the right. Legs, knees go over to the right. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, legs over to the left. I really like doing these supine twists as I'm lying in bed, either before bed or when I wake up in the morning. It's a good way to kind of get your body moving before your day starts. Get the blood flowing. Inhale, knees to center. Exhale, legs over to the right. Inhale, knees to center. This is going to be our last set. Exhale, knees over to the left. Now in this last set, if you have the motion and you want to roll your head to look on the right hand, to your right hand. Knees and head back to center on the inhale. Last exhale, knees over to the right. Head, if you can, over to the left. Inhale, head and legs back to center. Okay, we've come to the Shavasana portion of our practice. So I want you, if you are able to, lie down on your back, whatever's comfortable. If you have pillows or blankets, make yourself comfy cozy. If you have an eye pillow, you can put that on at this point. But we're just gonna lie down on our backs and close our eyes if you feel comfortable doing that. Shavasana is the time for us to fully relax our bodies after our practice. Let your arms and your legs feel heavy on the floor. Let the floor, the earth beneath you, completely support you. We provide so much support during the day to others. Time to let go of some of that and let yourself be supported by the earth below you. While you're lying here, I want you to imagine that you're lying down outside somewhere. Maybe it's in your backyard. Maybe it's at your favorite beach or lake. But you're lying down with the earth supporting you, and it is a beautiful, sunny day. Not a cloud in the sky. And as you're lying there, you can just feel the warmth of the sun all over your body. First, you start to feel the warmth, the light of the sun on your toes, on the tops of your feet, and your ankles. Feeling that warm sunshine warming up your feet. Then the rays of the sun start traveling up your body, up your shins, your knees, the tops of your legs. And at this point, it feels like almost both of your legs are just full of sunlight. The warm rays of the sun continue to move up your body. They warm your belly and your chest and your shoulders. And just like your legs, your whole torso is now full of sunlight. That warm sunlight now continues down your arms, down the upper part of your arm, past your elbow, into your wrist, your hands, and you're so full you can practically feel it shooting out from your fingertips. Now you can feel the sun trickling down on your face. And as you feel it, you can feel the corners of your mouth relaxing. You can feel your jaw relaxing. You can feel the space in between your eyebrows relaxing. The warm sunlight is releasing all of the tension in your face and in your head. And as you lie here, you realize that your whole body is just full of this radiant, warm sunshine. And you bask in the glow of the sun, and you bask in the glow of yourself here in this safe space for a few more minutes. The sun in the sky begins to fade, but the light within you will always shine bright. In these next few moments, start to bring yourself back to the space that you're in. Start to hear the sounds around you. Maybe start to wiggle your fingers and your toes to gently wake up your body. Fluttering your eyes open so you can take in this full space around you. And as you're ready, you can slowly bring yourself back up to sitting, rolling over to the side, pushing yourself up to sitting, whatever feels best for you. If you'd like to take this time and keep a few extra minutes of your Shavasana, by all means, please do. Or we're going to close our class now. So just like we did at the beginning of class, we're going to have one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly. Close your eyes and notice how you feel. Do you feel the same or different than the beginning of class? And with your eyes closed, we're going to listen to the singing bowl 3 more times. Slowly open your eyes. Bringing your hands to heart center. And giving a bow to you and thank yourself for giving yourself this time. Congratulations, you've finished your first yoga class. Now, don't forget to come back next week. Thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. This was really special. I'm so glad that you were all here. The recording I'm going to send out tomorrow. So you guys will have a recording of this class. And my plan for the rest of the classes is just to build off the basic structure of this class here. So we'll get to, building on the sun salutations, building on some more poses, but keeping that same kind of order of things so it feels predictable. If you have any questions, feel free to email. If not, I will see you guys on the social medias, and I will see you next week. Bye, everybody.